aka Wise the Warlock, and we reaching in our combat tool bag one more again. It is a cool black affair. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, LDBC only, LDBC everywhere, LDBC or nothing, LDBC versus everybody. So today's episode is going to be centered around November 23rd and the events that will take place on November 23rd in Erie at Bayfront Brawl. Um, but welcome to Boxing and Breakfast. Have a little bit of battle with your breakfast. Come on up to the table. Have some uh, breakfast with Champ. That said, do me a favor, guys. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by, family. Stephen L. and Mac. I appreciate you coming through. Good morning. Um, so that said, do me a favor, guys. Like, share, subscribe, follow everything LDBC, Trilitary, TWT, Simple Truth Network. Check out my other two channels, HFO Church, Acting Right TV, and support my OGs, Condo Loco, that's OG Loco to me, and my OG K Ho, Black Fight Fan. Support the usual suspects. Shop usualsuspect6.com. Support each individual usual suspect. And check out and support my little brother Black Sun. That's the 9-4 Sun God. Um, as I said before, do me a favor and shop usualsuspect6.com. Check out some combat tool bag merch and gear. Also, I have a book series on Amazon. Good morning, Queen. Good morning. Just getting through the commercial. Welcome to Boxing and Breakfast, episode 10. Have a little bit of battle with your breakfast. Um, and Boxing and Breakfast, aka Breakfast with the Champ. Absolutely. Breakfast with the Champ. Um, but yeah, just getting through this little commercial before I dive on in. So I have a 4 book series on Amazon. Uh, it's financial literacy based. You can type in Michelangelo Turner on Amazon.com, or you can, and you should find Hustle God, the Hustle, Language of the 1%, Hustle God's Linguistics of Money. Uh, you should find Hustle God's Afro Gold Part 1 and Hustle God Masterpiece Daily Golden Mind Molding. Um, Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it, Queen. Appreciate it. Yes, I have 4 books out. It's a 4 book series. Just some introductory level financial literacy, like um, investing and entrepreneurship, and it also covers um, the life and rise of 24 different entrepreneurs, predominantly black, of course. You know it's a cold black affair over here. Uh, and lastly, commercial. You sponsor your favorite fighter. You can sponsor your favorite fighter by donating to the Cash App, supporting the channel. The Cash App is Hustle God Inc. That's Cashtag Hustle God Inc. Just as just as each individual word is spelled out, all one word. That said, let's dive into today's topic. Today's topic is November 23rd. It'll be my second professional fight. Um, it'll be, I feel, my first true showing. Um, it's a chance at redemption. If I had to title this camp anything or title this um, battle anything, in my mind, it'd be redemption. Um, for those who do know, and for those who don't know, my first my debut fight, I lost my debut fight. Um, there were a lot of external circumstances that I couldn't deal with or settle myself to perform at my best. There were a lot of other, like I wouldn't say internal, but there were a lot, yeah, there were external and internal circumstances on why I couldn't settle myself and give you guys a great showing, give myself a great showing. Said, um, there's a few things that we'll cover in today's short live, and that's a sparring. Oh, do your thing, Queen. I appreciate you stopping by and showing love. Thank you, Queen Tay Tay. Tay Tay, the queen of MMA combat and entertainment. You have a wonderful day. That's the sweetest voice on the net, y'all. Yeah, so sparring. Let's talk about that first. Sparring was one of the bases I wasn't thoroughly covered going into my first fight. But sparring is one of the most focused and one of the most how do I put it, heavy things that we're focusing on in this camp. So it's been extensive, strenuous sparring. The training camp is going wonderfully. It's I'm sparring bigger guys. I'm working on new things. Being pressure tested, and there's a lot that I can't say, obviously, strategy wise, or certain things that I don't want the world to know exactly we're doing or how we're doing it. But I'm definitely being pressure tested in all of the right ways, and we're gonna have a great showing, and give a great a proper representation of who I am. Also representative as a member and a representative of the LDBC. I want to. It's imperative to me to. There's a sliding scale in this game when you get into it, and that's you can be the greatest, uh, you could be the worst, or you could be somewhere in between. That's all there really is, to be honest. There's the greatest, there's the worst, and there's somewhere in between. And I've always had a perfectionist mind state, and I've always been not competitive in the petty, childish sense that they use in the world of boxing. Oh, yes, win at everything. But I've always wanted to do my best at everything I've done. I've always wanted to show the best version of myself, the highest version of myself at everything I've done. And and yeah, I feel being a perfectionist, seeing how my preparation was going into the first fight, and seeing how it is going into this fight, I believe as much as anyone could who's experienced any sort of polarity or extreme difference or opposite uh, in life, highs, lows, discipline, undisciplined, whatever, that I'll give a completely different performance from what you guys saw. I know, that I'm a 10 times better boxer than what I displayed, um, in so many different uh, senses of the word. I mean, senses of the phrase. I mean, from durability to skill set, IQ. But the beauty in it is that leaves my opponents, the future opponents, to underestimate me based off of what has been shown. But I think after this, it'll be kind of a rewrite. It'll be a proof in the pudding that it was almost a fluke, that it was almost a setup, if you will. And uh, that said, we all have. It's a sport. There's wins and losses. It's. I want to be the first to say that that was my first loss, and it won't be my last loss, because I'm not interested in being built and developed as as the sport seems to, or as the business seems to feel is a natural or a customary. I say that because if at the start of a football season or at the start of any other sports season, you don't have any athletes that are able to be cultivated or moved wisely or being built. It's once you're a professional, you're thrown in into a tournament with the greatest of the greats, and the best will survive or be the last man standing at the end. In boxing, we don't get that because we have he's not ready yet excuses, or we're still building him excuses, or that fight needs time to build. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in fighting the best. I'm interested in seeing where I am, seeing who I am. Um, so I won't be making any um, false promises or disillusioned or be how do I put it, or be um, cocky, or I don't know how to put it. I'm gonna be as honest as I can be in this journey of mine, as transparent as I can be in this journey of mine, and do my best, to say the least. But uh, I want you guys to know that starting from sparring, the sparring has improved and is improving, and uh, the only way to get to heaven is through hell, if you will. And we definitely going through hell in there. From putting myself in the most advantageous positions to disadvantaged positions. Uh, then we got Miles and food intake. My diet is much better. I'm not a big guy. Uh, as I said on K Rod's channel a while back, my walk around weight and walk around is your inactive or your resting weight, if you will, your weight when you're not in camp. So my weight would be 124 if I'm not doing any workouts. The caveat with that is I'm not ever not in camp. That's not how I operate, getting into the game as old as I am. I'm 30 years old, by the way. My first professional fight happened after the age of 30, so um, time isn't necessarily on my side. Going back to the not be built thing, and wanting to be able to test myself and actually understand who I am immediately, not necessarily on a in a rush like how they say Machenko or Clarissa Shields or Shakur Stevens, but but maybe, I mean, why not? It's a scenario where I want to see, though I'm leaning on the job, I want to see if I can be the greatest fighter in the world. I want to see if I can be one of them, at least, or I want to see if I can compete at the highest level of the sport. And um, though I'll be learning while doing it, um, the training wheels got to come off sometime, and this is no longer the amateurs. So, uh, yeah, the that said, I'm not interested in being built. I'm interested in taking the hard road, the hard route. Um, and though I said there's a sliding scale in this thing where you can be the greatest, you can be in the middle, or you can be the worst. Shout out to Oddfella, man. The the my favorite yet the most hated, the one of the best designers in the game. The boxing and breakfast episode 10. Have a little bit of battle with your breakfast. Good morning. Have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. Much love and support, brother. Um, yeah. So, and with me being a perfectionist, I never wanted to be, or I'd never want to be, or desire to be a journeyman. That's kind of like my biggest fear is um, going out there and being nothing, or not necessarily nothing, but not being a champion quality fighter. And that that perception isn't you're gonna have haters, you're gonna have supporters, you're gonna have people who love you, and you're gonna have people who detract from your efforts. And all I can do is every day give my best, learn as much as I can, and step out there and test myself um, as hard as I can, as often as I can. Um, and I've given that some thought, though I never wanted to be, and I'm not okay with being um, the worst or okay. My desire is to be the best, but if at the end of the day, um, I'm the LDBC's Gabe Rosado, I'll have to be okay with that. If I'm the LDBC's Derek Chisora, I'll have to be okay with that, because I'll know at least then I was tested at the highest level. Um, at least my supporters will know I'm a fighting motherfucker. Um, at least I would know what I had to give the game, what I had to offer, where my legacy lies. So not jumping to the end, um, but just giving you guys a little insight on where my mind is, um, at least where my mindset is in this game. My Since I'm always in camp, I know I'm jumping from point to back to other point to a new point, but it'll all connect in the end. But as I said before, since I'm always in some sort of camp, um, since I've partnered with Coach KG, that's K underscore of the usual specs, my training has leveled up even more, and I've been thoroughly impressed with him. Thoroughly impressed and thankful with the work behind the scenes that Connor Loco is doing. Um, the training from the first fight to this fight is like night and day. I mean, he's given me so many tools, so many different, not even just drills, but different insight, different perspectives of uh, this three-dimensional realm of boxing. And it's funny because you think you understand it when you get that box based on the three principles of distance, leverage, and timing, but there's so many nuances that connect those three principles. And I'm gaining so much from Coach KG in the process. uh, but the plan is to fight as often as possible, um, and the plan is to uh, take a step up every fight. Um, which most ideal for me is to alternate between boxing and MMA. I think at least in mixed martial arts, I'll have an advantage with striking. Uh, I do have a bit of a background in other martial arts, which is why MMA isn't like a stretch for me. But in moving forward, our focus is boxing. Our focus is for being as boxing. Uh, I do want to make a statement that might not make too many people happy, and that's to test yourself. Isn't just putting yourself up against a challenge and being okay with the results, or building yourself and testing yourself, and then moving forward. There's an evaluation process, and in that process, after this fight, I'll have to look at, if I win or draw, we move forward. That's no question. We just keep building from there. But if I lose two back-to-back fights, I'll have to consider strongly consider changing focuses in combat sports, and almost like if it was college classes, or college major, I'd have to change my focus to MMA. I was just thinking that too. Ak and me aren't far off in size. He looks about my height. I'm 5'5.5", and when I'm active, like obviously, which is what I was saying is different from before. If I'm inactive, my walk around weight would be 124, but I'm active, so I'm always around 120, 119, or 122 ish. So I think me and Ak are about the same size, just going off the eye test, and yeah, that'll be some great work for real. And I know he has a high IQ. I've been checking some of his older posts on his IG and also on his channel, and you could tell he's a hell of an athlete. But yeah, so I talked about the partnership. Um, I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a coach. My first time, I was putting extra weight on Kano's hand, my OG loco, and he's a manager. He's a business mind. That's not his forte or what he came to the game to do. He didn't come to the game to be a coach, and I kind of threw extra pressure on him in that debut. Um, but now that I have better sparring, now that I have a great coach, um, daily killing myself. Before the lives that I do here, we make sure that we get miles in. So that's just the first workout of the day. Uh, I call it the 5 after 5. It's no less than 5 miles after 5 a.m. And then uh, there's two more workouts for the day. And on a good day, on a bad day, there's one more workout for the day. But so the intensity over duration, if you have a personal trainer or if you train in any physical method, you understand that physical progress is essentially based on intensity over duration. And we've definitely upped intensity and duration. So we'll definitely see different results there as well. Um, the A little bit of information on the bout. It'll be at 118. I'm not sure. Like, this is not any form of disrespect. I just the my opponent. He's making his debut. We could have chosen technically on paper an easier bout, someone with like a loss or two. I wanted a more even fight. I didn't want to go from fighting 4-0 to fighting someone who's 0-3 or 0-2. I want to fight someone who's at least even 0-1 or bet 1-0 debuter. So this guy's he'll be making his debut. Not a lot of information on him. I don't know how to say his name, which is why I was saying this is no disrespect. It's a Islamic name, but he has three, and they're like longer than mine, and I have four names, and he has more letters in his three names than I have in my four. So I don't think any of us can pronounce his name. Um, just know that on paper it's a more even fight than what it was against Joshua LeBron, and also the promoter is Bizarro. I made my mixed martial arts debut in amateurs on his promotional company, and that debut made Fox News. So he's a big time promoter up in Erie PA. And I'm also in good graces with him, so I don't have to expect the changing of gloves multiple times. I don't have to expect the changing of weight multiple times. I don't have to expect um, not being able to walk the ring, just random suspect things. I won't have to expect any type of games like that, but we'll still keep our eyes open for it. Um, but Yeah, so the promotional outfit is a familiar environment. The convention center that I'll be fighting at is a familiar environment. I've been in there, I've fought in there before. Well, um, and I'm in a different space entirely. I feel for this fight. I had so much. It wasn't pressure, but it was like so much I wanted to show to the world, so much I wanted to show to the family, so much I wanted to um, represent. I feel like, and because I lost and I lost terribly in my first fight, regardless of how, I mean, regardless of it happening, it happened, or how I look at it, it happened. The beauty in it again is I've shown the worst of myself. So a lot of the pressure or angst or excitement, unnecessary energy that I had from my first fight, I'm a lot more confident I'll be able to channel in this because it's only up from rock bottom. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily that I'm guaranteed to win this fight. It's that I can guarantee if I lose this fight, you guys will see, damn, he's not the same boxer he was in the first fight. And knock on wood, because I don't want to come into any battle, even mentioning that type of ideology. But I just want to give you guys uh, a surety that there will be a complete difference, night and day, between the Michelangelo Turner you've seen um, August 13th and the one you'll see November 23rd. Um, but that said, yes, this live again is about November 23rd. It's about my second fight. Um, I just want to remind or the world know that my first video chronicling my debut, my pro debut is up there. So there's details upon details covering the whole experience, and even then there's some stuff left out. But um, this is about leading into this fight and why you guys should uh I'm certain it will be it will be streamed in some way. Our fella, I have to touch base with the promoter again. I'm not exactly sure, uh, but the all of his fights are filmed. Put it like that. If you guys go on YouTube anywhere and search like Bayfront Brawl, you'll see he has a series of them, and there's like highlights and different things of stuff up there. So it'll be filmed in some capacity, and I'll make sure we those details get back to you guys. But damn, time flies a little bit when you're having fun, right? But I'll just do a summary and touch on anything I wasn't able to touch on, and do my little commercial before I get out of here. And that's November 23rd, Erie PA. At bantamweight, I'll be making my second pro fight, my return to the ring. Um, it'll be against some guy. I just don't know how to say his name. It's a much more even fight. Um, the bag went up. The promoter is a guy I know, I'm familiar with. He's a good guy. Uh, Actually met him at Golden Gloves before I fought on his card. Um, but yeah, this there was a bit of a delay. I did leave that out. There was a bit of delay in this between this fight. Yes, sir. Erie PA, like Lake Erie, but Erie PA. It's right by Lake Erie, obviously. But so there was a bit of delay in between this fight and my last fight, um, because I had a inflamed rotator cuff, and getting over that injury was like, it's kind of like annoying as hell when you're trying to train and stay in peak shape, because gotta literally take it lightly and do nothing with that shoulder or that arm. Oh, dope, dope. If that's possible, I mean, if you're able to move state to state, like they said in Belly, like Method Man said in Belly, if you're able to move around, it'd be dope to see you, OG. It'd definitely be dope to see you, big bro. But what was I saying? Yeah, I was getting over a little bit of an injury afterwards. It wasn't there was no injury before the fight. That's not an excuse. It was after the fight, leading into a fight that we were trying to book. Um, the reason there was a bit of a delay is because of that injury on my behalf. Um, but Kano was doing his thing. He had his pot his kettles in the fire. He had found a number of opportunities in between November 23rd and August 13th. It was trying to get over my inflamed rotator cuff, and then I had this cyst thing. Like, it's funny because Winky Wright had a similar thing, but it looked like a boil on his neck, and I had a cyst thing on my chin, and I had to get it like surgery on that. So it was just some inconvenient BS that was happening with my body that we don't have to worry about going forward. And again, you will see polarity, a difference in the fighters that you seen August 13th and November 23rd. More details will be coming you guys' way from myself, from OG Loco, from a number of different platforms that will have details such as the usual suspects. Um, the little homie K Rod, he'll have some details too, and and we're locked in, y'all. I mean, the like I said, sparring's going great. Getting crazy miles in. We're getting multiple times a day. Ratchet since '91. Family, what's cracking with you, cuz? Thank you for stopping by. Have a little bit of battle with your breakfast. Welcome to Boxing and Breakfast, episode 10. Appreciate your support. But yeah, actually, I'm just wrapping up, just doing a quick summary. If you want to take it back to the top, it's a replay friendly live. I try to keep them short and sweet. But just getting in these last little words before the final commercial, and just summing up essentially what's going on now, going into this second fight, that I haven't touched on already. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm really trying to think if there's anything else. I just want y'all to know. I think that's everything as far as like the injuries. As far as I got a complete team. As far as the coaching and sparring and everything's imbalanced. And also working with better, not a better. Well, as far as I know, because I know Ernie Bizarro. I don't know Anthony of Undisputed like that. I worked with him one time. I've known Ernie Bizarro for years at this point. I know he's a good guy, so I can actually honestly say I trust him, where I can say I don't trust other cuz. But needless to say, yeah, I'm I want to thank you guys. I love y'all. I appreciate the support, all of the love shown in me, and I feel like the best way to reciprocate that is through showing um, the best of myself in the ring, through giving all I can in these training camps, putting my body through hell, getting literally little to no rest because of the work schedule and the training schedule, but literally putting my body through hell to see if I can cut away all of the fat and leave nothing but chisel, stone, or diamond, and actually, or gold, and give the LDBC something to be proud of. You feel me? Um, give the family something to actually um, be happy to gather around and support. I got the miles in. I get my miles in before I get on, coach. Always, definitely. but I'm getting ready for my second workout now. But yeah, so he he'll be playing with that shit. Yeah, I sound like a kidnap victim. I'm like, whew, here he come. He's coming down the hallway. But nah, I definitely appreciate that, coach. You checking again. I got the miles in. I was explaining to them is I call it 5 after 5. It's no less than 5 after 5 in the morning. Um, my time. I don't know what time it is for y'all. But yeah, that said, enough with the the talking about it. Is like coach said, it's time to go get busy. It's time to go be about it, and just look out for November 23rd. Um, Coach Gate KG will be making his debut with me, and we'll be making our uh, a proper presentation of self together, and expect good things. It should be very exciting. That said, I'm gonna finish with this commercial. If you got here late, you can take it back to the top. Thank you all for stopping by, having breakfast with the champ at Boxing and Breakfast. Like you had a little bit of battle with your breakfast. Do me a favor, family, support, subscribe, follow everything LDBC, Trilitary, TWT, Simple Truth Network. Check out my other two channels, HFO Church and Acting Right TV. Support my OGs, OG Kano Loco, OG K Hope, that's Black Fight Fan TV. Support the usual suspects. Shop usualsuspect6.com. Support each individual usual suspect. I love them brothers over there. Support each individual usual suspect. Some other works they have up there. Road wears up there. There's some ladies wear up there. There's combat tool bag gear up there. Uh, Also check out my little brother Black Sun, the 9-4 Sun God. Um, Shop usual suspects. ShopUsualSuspect6.com. Pick up some combat tool bag merch. I got a book series out there on Amazon.com called Hustle God Series. You can type in Michelangelo Turner on Amazon or type in Hustle God Series on Amazon. 4 books should pop up. Hustle God Masterpiece Daily Golden Mind Molding. Hustle God's Afro Gold Part 1. Um, Language of the 1%. Hustle God Linguistics of Money. Hustle God Art of the Hustle. And lastly, you can sponsor your favorite fighter. You can sponsor a fighter by just donating to Cash App and supporting the channel and supporting the journey. The hashtag is money sign. Excuse me, money sign hustle God Inc. Money sign hustle God Inc. All one word. Um, Spelled just how it sounds. That said, love y'all. Thank you for stopping by. It is a cold black affair. Always will be. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Shout out to the TWT. Shout out to the Trilitary. Shout out to the usual suspects. Um, Till Friday, guys. Deuces.